I think almost every one of them was like me. They were poor people with a little education, high school diploma was all you needed, parents' permission if you were 19 or older. They went up there to learn to fly. They loved airplanes just like I did. I would have never gone up there if it wasn't for the fact that I couldn't afford to take flying lessons and learn to fly. So Canada did me a big favor.
Yeah.
We voluntarily went up on our own. We paid our own way up, and we gambled on passing the physical, and we gambled on being able to graduate for flying.
Yeah.
Well, the only apprehension that I had was whether or not I was going to become a pilot or whether I was going to get washed out, so to speak.
Yeah.
That was my only concern. I just did not want to wash out. I wanted to become a pilot.
So it was more like you're going up to a flying school rather than there was the country, it wasn't really the issue. It was a matter of it was an opportunity to learn to fly.
Absolutely, 100%. I can remember so very vividly talking to some of my compatriots that I went up there to fly and to learn to fly, and if they would teach me to fly, I would go to England and fly combat just because that would be the payback, you might say, for being taught how to fly.
Yeah.
Because when I got up there in August of 41, they sent me to Brandon, Manitoba, and we were there for about 8 weeks. And all we did was stand guard duty on empty buildings and march. And we even marched to church. And then they sent me to Dauphin, Manitoba to, I guess, clean machine guns. They had ferry battles up there. And I got a ride in one of those one winter day.
What do you think of that? Pretty old or outdated, or what was the feeling at the time?
Well, I'd only been in an airplane. I had only an airplane ride maybe twice in my life prior to going up there. So this was all brand new to me, and I was all excited about that. I really was. Then they sent us to Pierce, Alberta. They had nothing but a runway there, and we stood guard duty guarding that dry runway. And we had our meals at Lethbridge. We went in Steakside truck back and forth for the meals. And then it came Christmas time, and we came home on leave for a couple of weeks. And while we were home, we got telegrams to go back to Regina, Saskatchewan for elementary flying training school, EFTS. And we were there for quite a while, and then we graduated from there, and lo and behold, they still didn't have a flying school for us. So we go back out to Pierce, Alberta again, and from there we went to High River, Alberta, which was just not very far away, up north near Calgary. And that's where I learned to fly the Tiger Moth. I had about 80 hours in that thing when that train came through and I transferred back, so I had no idea that I was ever transferred back. I just thought I was going to stay in the Royal Canadian Air Force until the war was over.
So you carried on as usual until they gave you the opportunity to transfer.
Exactly. Well, as best I recall, we had no indication at all that this was going to happen like a month or two in advance. It just sprung it on us about, I guess maybe 10 days, 2 weeks at the very most, ahead of time that the train would be coming through Calgary, Alberta, and those Americans that wanted to transfer back to the U.S. Could do so without any problem. And the train would have 3 cars, I believe it was. One car you went in, and you came in one end, and you signed a few papers, and you went out the rear end, and you were in the Army, for example. The same way if you wanted to be in the Navy. And I can't recall, though, whether the Marines had a car, but I don't think so. I think it was Navy and Marine combined, because they are pretty much the same.
And what did the other fellows say when the other American fellows that were on course with you, when everyone heard about this? What was the discussion amongst them?
Oh, I think almost to the last person, they all said they would to get on the train and they'd come back to the United States. And we did have a pretty big convoy train. When we all went back while the trains were loaded.
So everybody stayed on the train once you
Oh, no. We got off the train. And we went back to our barracks. And a few days later, they sent in a train that had the accommodations to take care of us. So we went to Santa Ana, California for a little ground training to change uniforms and learn how to march a little bit differently. And then get assigned to a flying school. The other people, I think, that were in the east and around Ottawa or in that area, I think they wound up on the east coast of the United States.
I see.
My training up there was actually, I would say, better than it was in the primary training here in the United States. We had 3 schools, primary, basic, and advanced. Up there you only had 2.
What did you find better about it?
Well, they taught me how to fly instruments, for example, and they taught me how to recover from a spin, even though I was on instruments. And they hadn't, when I got back to the United States, the people in the primary hadn't done anything like that, so I was sort of ahead of the class. The only difference was we had steermen. When I went to basic flying school, in Taft, California, we were flying BT-13, the Balti vibrator. And that's when we started flying instruments. And the instructor said, well, how did you learn to do that? And I said, well, they taught me how to fly instruments in the Royal Canadian Air Force. I think he was very pleased that he didn't have any trouble with me learning to fly instruments. I consider myself a complete patriot. I was eager to go over and help do my thing. And even when I was flying an airplane against the Germans, I had no compulsion about destroying anything that got in front of me. I was eager to help out and get that job done. And I think all the rest of my people were that way too, because all of the P-38 pilots in the 82nd Fighter Group, they were gung-ho to go over there and do the job.